Do you see the three boxes on the right? So
Yes.
in these three boxes on the right, this is to set up the view you want. So first box, if you see, you have a navigation pane on the left, which has management, instance, and performance. If I click on it, that gets vanished. And if I click on it again, you can again see it back. Guys, when you're joining classes from here, no, please make sure that there won't be any disturbance on the background. Fine. So if you click on it, that get vanished, and if you click on it again, it will again get you back the navigation pane. And the second box you have here is for the output window. So you see on the bottom there is an output window here, small one. If you click on this, it's removed, and if you click on it back, it comes back. And the right side is for the SQL additions. SQL additions is not required for us because we are just understanding the SQL for which is also required only for Power BI. So SQL additions admin related will not be working. So this would be enough for us. Okay. So once you understand these three, now on the left side in the navigation pane, on the left side on the navigation pane, you have something called administration and schemas. Okay. So once I click on the schemas, you will see a list of databases. For you, it would be only SIS, Sakila, and World. You will have only three because I've been working on this since long. I have multiples. For you guys, it would be only three. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. Now coming back. Have you all seen this? Now coming back here. If you want to write a SQL query, you have to write here. You see my cursor is active. You have to start writing it here. Suppose if this is not open for you, that's okay. You have to go to File. You have open SQL script, and that is to open a new one. And here you have a symbol for the very first symbol you have here. If you click on this first symbol, you have this. Click on the first symbol you have here to have this. Okay. Any questions?
No, madam. No.
Next options you have is first always understand the structure of the database. In database structure, first you will always have database or schemas. People also call these as schemas. That's why you see there's a name schemas. There is some difference between database and schemas for few databases, not for all of them. Okay. For few databases, database is different and schema is different. And for few databases, it is same. Okay. How is that same is basically either you write a database or you write a schema, it gives the same output. And for few things, database is different and schema is different. Database is used to store the data and schema is used to store the information of the database. Okay, before that, can you guys tell me what's the difference between SQL and database as we discussed previously already? What's the difference between schema and database?
Data database is used to store the data. Schema is used to store the information of the data.
What was my question?
Difference between
Difference
schemas
between
and
SQL and database.
okay, sorry.
No, SQL and database difference. Can you guys tell me the difference between SQL and database?
Yeah, so database is nothing but we store the information in the data. The SQL is nothing but the query language wherein we can communicate with the database by writing some queries.
Okay, database is a container which stores data,
Yeah.
and if you have a schema, it is sorry, SQL is a language which is used to communicate with this particular database. Okay. So now in general, the structure of databases, first you will have databases like this. Suppose you have circular, all of you have circular, so I'll also work on this. Now if I expand this, you will have tables. If I expand tables, you see the list of tables you have. Okay, you have a list of tables here. In list of tables, again you have, if I expand, it will have columns. If I expand the columns, it tells you what all columns are there. So what is the first, if suppose if you take this as hierarchy, which is the top hierarchy? Suppose if you take this as hierarchy, which is the top hierarchy? Database is the top hierarchy. That's what you see, right? In database, you have tables. Correct?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes or
madam.
no?
Yes, yes.
Guys, please don't
Yes.
be inactive like this. If you're not active, just let me know. I'll talk to wall and continue my subject. Okay? Fine. So if you have databases list here, in database you have tables. In tables, you again have columns. So always the first thing what you have is databases. So now first you should understand how to create a database. So how do we create a database? So to create a database, query which you have to write is create database and a name for it, whatever you want to give. For example, I want to create a database with a name. For example, I want to create a database with a name called Harsha 2. Okay. Now if I put a semicolon, why semicolon? I'll tell you when I write the next query. Okay. So if I put a semicolon, now to execute, you have to either do, you can put cursor anywhere on this line and do control enter, or you can select this line and do this flash symbol. Any of the way it will work. You can just put your hover your cursor anywhere on this page and do control enter. Okay. Now if I do control enter, so it is executed successfully. Now if I go refresh it, but if it is I mean executed, how do you get to know is on the bottom you see you got a green tick mark in the output pane. In the output you got a green tick, that means it is successfully executed. Once it is successfully executed, now if you don't see things on the left, you can do a refresh. So this is a refresh option you have. Once you click on refresh, you can see something called Harsha 2 here. Okay, this is
Database.
I have tables, but I don't have an expansion mark for the tables because table is not created. Okay, we just created a database, but we didn't create the table. So that's why you have the database here, but table is not created. That's why you don't have any expansion for the tables. Okay, so this is how you will create a database. Now, once the database is created, next option you have is another way of creating is create schema. Now, I'll show you. Even though I write create schema and give Harsha name is already there, Harsha 2 is already there. So I'll give Harsha 2 underscore 1. If I do control enter and execute, so this is also successfully executed. On the left, if I do a refresh, here you go. You have Harsha 2 and I also have Harsha 2 underscore 1. Even though you do schema creation or database creation, it's working the same in MySQL. But in general, if you go with writing, in general, if you go with database and schema, it would be a little different for both of them. Okay, how would that be different? So that would be different because database is a container which stores data and schema is storing the information of the database. And in here also, suppose if you remove the semicolon, what's the importance of this semicolon? Now, what is this command to create a database? It's just create database and the name of the database which you want to create, right? If I remove the semicolon, see, it shows error here. Because now if I execute this, it is reading it as create database Harsha to create schema all together as one query. To say that this is the end of a query, you generally go with semicolon. Semicolon tells that the query ends here. Okay, semicolon says that the query ends here. Got it? So semicolon is used to say that this is the end of the query. Any questions? Is that clear?
Yeah, clear, madam.
Yes. So now if you create database has the data which is to be stored. Schema has the information of the database. How? So for that, if you write show databases, before even doing that, I'll tell you is another way of creating a database. Let's go to that next. So to create a database, you wrote create database name, or you also wrote create schema name. Another way of creating a database is on the top, you see some symbols here, right? If you hover over the fourth symbol, the database symbol, see, create a new schema. If you hover over, create a new schema in a connected server. Now, if you click on that, see, there's a new tab opened here. You can give the name of the database here. So the name of the database, I'll give Harsha 2 underscore 2. Now on the right corner, you have something called apply. On the right corner, you have apply. Once you click on apply, then you get a window open and the syntax is written by itself. It has written the syntax by itself. Now if I click on apply, see it has applied the query. Now if I click on finish the execution and you see a new database has come. So you can close this window. Once it is completed, you can close that window. You're back to your SQL script window. Now I'll click on enter, go to the next tab. Sorry, go to the next line. Now, if you want to see the list of databases, can you tell me what, so before going to the list, you have to know how to create and drop as well. So to create a database, I wrote create database name. If I want to drop it, I just have to write drop database. For example, Harsha2 underscore 1. So you see on the left, you have Harsha2 underscore 2, Harsha2 underscore 1. Suppose if you want to drop Harsha2 underscore 2. Okay, if I do control enter, see successfully executed, and on the left also you don't see it anymore. This is one way to drop it. Another way to drop it is you can just go to the database name, right click and click on drop schema. You can click on drop schema. You see, you can click on drop now. It is dropped. Now you have only Harsha2. Harsha2 underscore 1 and Harsha2 underscore 2, we have dropped it. Now I have only one, that is Harsha2. Okay. Am I clear?
Yeah, clear, madam. Okay.
Yes. Now, how many databases do I have here on the left? Let me just remove the extra ones to remove the confusion. Yes. Drop schema, drop. I think developer I was using for your previous batch. Drop it. Yeah, now it's fine. How many databases do you see on the left?
2.
You see two of them, right? Now if I say show databases, semicolon and execute. Now tell me how many you have. You see two here? How many databases do I have? On the left,
Nine
you have
databases.
6 databases. Out of this 6, when I say show databases, I got 9. What is the extra ones?
The one that you have dropped.
No. I have dropped Harsha2 underscore 1 and Harsha2 underscore 2. Did I drop information schema? Did you see anywhere that I had a schema like this on the left?
No.
These are the hidden schemas which have the information. That's the reason they say database has the data. Schemas have the information. So we have information schema, you have MySQL and performance schema. Performance has all the details of the performance of this database which you're working on. MySQL has some settings. Information has all the tables and database information of the database which you're working on. For example, if you want to know it better, if you go with writing, select star from information underscore schema dot tables. If I execute, you see it has all the information of tables now. You have a definition for table schema called MySQL. In that you have column privileges, content, DB, default roles, what to be there. Each database has, see again, information schema has administration role authorities, application roles, character sets, check constraints. If I more scroll down, this has a defined information of all the databases. See, performance schema has event errors, stages histories. Performance schema holds the information of the performance of this database which you're working on. System will have system details, host summary, host file information, memory by host. Schema stores the information. I was telling you guys schema will store the information, right? So Sakila has some tables, see it has all the table informations. So these are hidden schemas. When I do show databases, these three schemas information is not seen directly on the left, but when you do show database, it is showing, because if they are kept on the left seen directly on the screen, people might end up in doing drop, and that might affect the performance of this. So that's the reason it is hidden. That's the reason it is hidden, so that none of you can touch that and disturb it. Do you get that?
Yeah, I got it. I had a small doubt. You have written that select thing, right? Some query.
Not some query. I just
Yeah,
told
yeah.
select star, in the sense select everything from this schema dot tables. That means give all the information of tables from this information schema. Okay. Select star, in the sense I want to select star, implies everything. Got it?
I got it.
Yes. Okay. So going back to the next one we have here. So the next option you have here is, so now you know what is a database, what is a schema, and you know how to create a database, drop and see the list of databases. Now in a database, what is the general structure? First you will have database. If you expand it, you have tables. But in our database Harsha too, do I have tables? Did I create a table?
No, not yet.
No.
We have not yet created any tables, right? Now let's learn how to create a table. Before even creating it, I want to give some heads up on this. So suppose, what does a table contain generally? What does a table contain?
Rows and columns.
Rows
Suppose
and
if this is my
columns.
table, yes, rows, it contains rows and columns. So table contains rows and columns. What else does a table contain? Okay, it contains rows and columns. Now inside, okay, it has rows and columns. Can this be a table, or will it have some details in it?
The heading as well, it is important.
Will a table have a name? Not
Yeah,
heading,
it should.
table name. Does a table have a name? Let me write table name as student info. So I will put some student information in it. So will
Man, your
will
voice
each
is
column have a
breaking.
name? Okay, I have a bad network maybe. One second. Let me shift it. Is my voice clear now, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, clear, man.
Yeah. Today early morning I had this Wi-Fi disconnect. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yes. So coming back here, suppose if it is breaking again, let me know. I'll repeat that. Okay. So you have the column names. So I'll take the column names. For example, in your schooling, you generally go with student ID, student name, and I have marks. Okay, if this is these are my column names. Now tell me, can I put ABCD under student ID? So you table will also have information, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Under the
Yes, madam.
student ID, can I go with ABCD?
Mm,
Think general
mm,
with common sense and tell me. Can I go with
no, no.
ABCD for student
No,
ID?
ma'am. No, madam. Only numbers you should give.
What should be okay?
Numbers is it okay?
Serial numbers. One, two,
Number
three.
should be fine, right? Correct. Number should be fine, correct.
Yes.
So if I have to say numbers, we being humans can realize. Does the database have that brain to realize? No. We have to say everything. Everything should be given externally only. Okay. So how do we say it? That's what is called data type. That's what is called data type. Now, how do we learn the data types? So if I go here, you go to any website, that's okay. I'll not tell you specific go with this or something. Just type, you're using a database called MySQL. So write MySQL data types and enter. Very first one I'm going. If I click on it, so here you go. Data type of a column defines what value the column can hold. Integer, character, money, datum, what all it can hold. The most commonly used one is string. You have three data types. Firstly, string. So you have three data types generally. First one is string. Then you have a number followed by date and time. Okay, strings, numeric and date and time. Everyone going with that? You have these two are the most widely used ones. You know, look at these two sentences and tell me what difference do
Madam,
you
your
see between
voice is
char and
breaking.
varchar. Sorry,
Your voice is breaking.
I got a notification. Now it's fine. Is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
stop breaking now?
No, no. No, it's okay, I think.
Yeah, fine. Can you guys look at these two sentences and tell me what differences do you find between char and varchar? Just go through the sentence, read it properly, and tell me the differences. What you see.
The size of the data
Yeah,
type
the
is
column.
different.
I can hear you.
Good morning, guys. The time is facing some network issue, so she messaged like, "Hey guys, I want to trouble with you guys. This disconnection. I will get it sorted and that move to continue. Hope you understand." Yeah, that is it.
Your voice is not at all audible.
Yeah, I
Can you
think
guys am
the
I audible
screen.
now?
No, it's
Am I
still
audible
breaking,
now?
madam.
So I think you guys can read it on the screen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So let's connect back tomorrow. I'll get it sorted. As soon as I wake up today, I saw this and all the connections were disconnected in my surroundings as well. So I think there's a trouble from that side. So let's connect back tomorrow to continue learning. Sorry for the
Sure.
inconvenience.
Sure, love.
It's not an issue.
Yeah, this is the problem with the remote working. Chalo. So
Yeah.
let's connect back tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. Okay,
I'll
madam.
start from table again tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Sorry for the inconvenience. Bye bye.
Bye.